us this morning is the president of the Estate Police Association, Mr. Derek Richardson. Good morning.
Good morning.
And the second vice president, also Mr. Vidish Bagwandi.
Morning.
How are you guys today?
Well, we are good. We are thankful to be here, the opportunity to share some information on the Estate Police Association, what has been happening.
So my first question for those that are not aware what is the role of the Estate Police Association, I don't know, Vidish, if you want to...
Well, the Estate Police Association is the only body that could represent estate police officers in Trinidad and Tobago. No other association, no other trade union can represent Estate Police Association. We are, as I say, a creature of statute. All right? But we know there are the security officers in the industry who by and large don't have any representation at all. So we are hoping in the not too distant future, we will have that opportunity to represent both estate constables and security officers. They perform, in some cases, similar functions. So we believe we should be given the opportunity to represent.
How long have you all been in existence now?
Well, the Act is 1906, but we have been in existence 1950.
Okay.
There's an amendment made to the Act to give the life to the association. Right? It says it gives us sole representation rights to those persons who carry a precept from the Commissioner of Police. So by and large, estate constables go from the rank of constable straight up to the rank of superintendent. Right? So that's where we are. We traditionally came from a need to do the security over the police work at the estates. A lot of people do not know that we have all rights, powers, and immunities of that of a police officer at the rank of a constable.
Yeah, I think I didn't know that as well.
Yes. Yeah. So we can arrest on in any division that where our estate is situated, and we can also serve summons and warrants according to the direction of any magistrate or anyone. So those are the powers of the estate police.
Okay, that's interesting though. I was never aware of that. I think other people wasn't aware of it.
Yes, a lot of people are not aware of that. So.
Because I know I spotted you guys during the rally with the Labor Day with...
Yes.
That's when I noticed, wait, estate police, maybe it was... So I said, you know what? Let me make some contacts with you all. But I'm glad to have you all here on the program this morning.
Thank you very much for the
I wanted to
opportunity.
touch on some of the issues you all are having though. I know you sent me some pictures.
Yeah.
I wanted to share the pictures with the viewers this morning.
Yes.
All right, so we're just going to show the pictures from some parts of Trinidad where they were conducting their duties.
This photo was taken at the rear of the Pizza Hut in San Fernando in Gulf. This other photo here was taken at Riverwoods.
The first photo that we just saw though, is that a what is that?
That is the accommodation they had for whatever security they had in the back of Pizza Hut there.
So your men gonna be inside?
Yeah, they actually had officers there. When we visited, there wasn't any. Probably there were officers for some point, but that is a galvanized structure.
For one person?
We don't know. Actually, we saw 4 chairs.
4 chairs.
Right?
So this is inside of it, or this is
no?
another
This is
photo?
This is another area. This is at the Riverwoods. This is National Insurance. Yeah. There are security at the rear entrance of the Riverwoods estate, which is a gated community. This is the accommodation. Yeah. This is the flooring of the booth.
At Riverwoods?
At Riverwoods. Poles. This is the chair that they had for them right there.
So this is the same booth that we're
This is the
talking
same
about?
booth, yes. This
What
is the
about-
same booth, no doors.
What about restrooms and stuff like that?
Well, they have a portable toilet.
Portable?
Yeah, there's a portable toilet that they have there. Now, that is all well and good to have a portable toilet if it's a short project.
Right.
But actually, this particular duty has been going on for years.
I don't think anybody could be comfortable inside
No,
of
nobody
this
can be
building.
comfortable in that. And these are the things that is happening in the industry that we need to address frontally. That the accommodation, this is the dignity of persons, right? Not just that you have a job, right? But the dignity of the person is what we're looking at. So we are saying, listen, that there must be a minimum standard for accommodation for an estate police officer or a security officer.
All right. I just want to show the rest of the videos and footage there.
Yes.
Where we can just go through the list.
This one was taken in Arima. There is no accommodation really. So you see what they have there is just some chairs outside, and when rain falls, it comes in on these officers. Yeah?
So what?
Open area.
Just an open area.
So they're working in an open area, they're not in
They're
an
working
office?
in an open, not in an office. They're posted there and left to the elements. And this is at a HDC.
Is that water dripping from
That
the
is
ceiling?
water dripping from the ceiling right there.
And there's a light above that?
There's a light above that. This is in the cokerite. In cokerite there.
Okay. Which, where in Cokerita is this?
I said, I'm thinking it's water hole, let's call it.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the agency down there. And this is what, now, it's not just the security officers that suffer, it's the persons who work at the agency.
Of course.
This is what is happening. Now, you see water coming around, electricity thing there, a light. That
So
could
is it
go
that
down
they're
the entire
waiting
building.
until something drastic happens,
Yeah.
then they're going to fix the leak, move the lights and all of that?
And that's how it's normally done.
And that's what happens.
Is there any more footage there you had sent?
No. This is the you see there's grass, everything that's around the portable toilet. That is in Riverwoods also. That's what we were speaking of earlier.
Right.
So let's take a little video of the area that when we went to visit, because we got a call concerning the conditions there now. So this is what we have been doing since we came into office in November. We've been going out on the field and wherever we have information,
Right.
looking at those things and trying to address it frontally. The companies are saying that it's client responsibility. But we are saying that if you're going to put any one of your officers there,
Right.
you also have a responsibility to ensure that the conditions that you're placing
Because
them in.
that was my next question. Whose responsibility
Exactly,
is this to
because everybody is
upkeep
shifting the
building?
blame. So we're saying that it's NIB, then I'm thinking, no. You are the persons employed by your company. If you are placing them there, then you have to ensure that the facilities that under the contract you're taking
Right.
is proper and right for a human being.
But have you guys have reached out to persons who's responsible for the
Yes,
buildings
we
and
have.
stuff?
Yes, we have.
Anything positive came out of that?
Well, in this river was they have just done the flooring, I think.
Okay.
But that's about it. And it continues because you see what is happening. My village will tell you that officers, by and large, they are so abused and they are so afraid to speak out.
It's been
Because
happening across the board.
they thought that they never would have had this voice.
Right.
So now you're hearing them. They will message us, and say this is what is happening. But they are afraid to speak out. Because
Yes.
by and large, they are afraid to lose their jobs and be intimidated by the employers.
But aren't they in a union as well where they're going to be protected?
Well, the association.
Right.
But that is, as Vilesh was saying just now, you'll address it because that is something we definitely need to
Yes.
get into.
Yeah, Videsh could discuss.
You see, what is happening? There's a bill before Parliament,
Yes. Is that the private security bill?
private security
But I
bill.
feel better to tell them that what the difference between a state police and a security officer.
Yeah.
So the estate police officer, basically they have the power of arrest. Right? They could bring persons before the court, and as Derek said earlier on, they have the same powers, immunities and privileges just as a police officer
Right.
at the rank of constable. The security officer, they don't have these immunities, privileges. They can make citizens arrest. And what is happening, most of the time, they don't have representation. And the employers, they are threatening these security officers and the estate constables. If they should join a union, they will be terminated.
No way.
And you know what is unfortunate? these officers sometimes work for minimum wage.
Yes.
$15 an hour. They have to work long hours. 24, 48 hours in order to make ends meet, in order to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And that's the only source of income. And the employer know if they terminate their services, it's going to take a long time before it reaches the industrial court.
Right.
So the employers, they are using this against the officers. They are going to officers who are precepted and who are part of the Estate Police Association and telling them they need to drop out of the association. And if not, they would send them all different parts of the country. So somebody who might be living in South, they might have to go work at REMA when there's need for security services in South. So they are being victimized. And unfortunately, because of the Supplemental Police Act, we cannot bring an industrial relations offense to the industrial court. So there's a long process. And because of that, officers they are treated in some cases like animals. They are treated like animals. And for too long, nobody spoke out about that. Nobody speak about the condition that security officers go through. You know, just this morning, I was hearing about a clip which is purported to be from Tobago,
Yes,
with some
with the school
young
children.
men, which is said to be a firearm and all of that. And everybody talk about supervision of the parents. But nobody is saying that security officers are made to work 24 and 48 hours. So how can they supervise effectively their children when they have to work this kind of hours? You see, we as a society and the powers that be, whatever decision we make, whatever step we take, we have to look at it how we're going to affect society. And I am saying some of these things that is taking place today in this country. It's easy to say a child won't have supervision, but also that child needs food, that child needs clothing. And if the parents cannot provide that, then the basic needs of that child can't be fulfilled by a parent. And these companies, some of them are taking large contracts and don't have the required manpower to fulfill the contract. And because of the minimum wages officers are working for, they will stay and work day to night to the next day. Because $15.80 an hour, rent, all the utilities, just as anybody else. So we are hoping that the powers that be and the society as a whole understand that we have to look at what is happening in the country. And it's not a point blame at anyone.
Right.
Because the problems in the security, the citizens of this country have to understand it could affect them. Because it could just be that a child who is not supervised and his mother or father have to work long hours. That might be the child who might come by you and do perform some kind of act. So we have to understand that, hey, we're talking about how much money we spent for the last 10 years in national security. But what about the social part of it? Did anybody do a survey or any kind of check to see how this is affecting the young ones? We have in the security industry about 60% of the industry made up of females. Only a single parent.
Yes.
When that mother have to leave that child alone in the house, it's easy for us to say no supervision. What is the alternative to that? We have to ensure that these companies pay a living wage to these officers, a living wage in order that they could put food on the table and be home to supervise that child as well. $15 an hour. And remember, the function of an estate constable, a security officer, is to protect property and life. How they could be charged with this responsibility and be paid $15.80 an hour and no overtime. No, the Estate Police Association, we think estate constables are discriminated against. The minimum wages order, it talks about a 40-hour work week and an 8-hour work day don't apply to security officers. So employers would work you for 20, 30, 40, 50 hours flat rate.
Derek, I wanted to ask you, I mean, with persons being told that if they come out and speak about it, they're going to be victimized, have you stood up? Have you been there?
Well, yes. Well, we have been, this present executive came into office in November, right, the 4th of November. No, the 4th, the 10th of November.
10th of November.
10th of November. And we met these things. So we are now attempting to address these things frontally, right? There was this company, yes, that did give these officers a document to sign, saying that they would resign from the EPA, and they were given $6,000. When to give up that, now they will be working for, or they will work for a lesser rate. Now what happens is that a state police officer will carry up a higher rate than a security officer.
Okay.
So they were told that if you don't do it, then we don't have work for you, and we'll have to send you to San Fernando, where there is work. So you're living Sandy Grande Arima. When you check the money it will take, and the time it will take on the road for you to transfer from Sandy Grande or Arima to San Fernando, you recognize all your money now, because the rate is not that far apart. The money gone with that. And as Vinesh was pointed out, the social effect now is tripled, right? So we are waiting talks with the company. As a matter of fact, we are supposed to send back to them a date to meet.
Right.
They recently reached back out. We met with them on a couple of occasions on a number of issues that we have with them. So we are in the process of really agitating these issues to be addressed, right? As Vinesh said, one of the problems that we have is because under the Act, we are not seen as workers. We are not called workers. So we can't take an industrial relations offense to.
So my question is, what do they say you all asked them?
Well, that's it. There's no classification. Well, in section services, because even at the court, the industrial court, we do not go to the open industrial court. We are in the essential services division, which is really the special tribunal, which is not a part of the industrial court. Only, as a matter of fact, only was last week.
Last week, yeah.
A judgment was handed down where now you can appeal a decision of the special tribunal.
I think Vinesh wanted to say something.
Yeah, you know, and that over the years, and I want to go back to the social problem, and that over the years has impacted negatively these officers and their families. And Trinidad and Tobago, please, let's not say this is not your problem. The problem is this big because too much of us say it is not our problem. And if all of us put a shoulder to the wheel, we could address some of the ills of this country. And we need to do that. We need to work together. We need to pay the security officers and the estate constables a living wage. The condition that these, you know, it happens some location where there's an officer and a K9, and these officers are made to work long hours. They would bring a meal for the K9, but nothing for the officer.
What?
And
the K9 is a dog, right?
And yes,
and
that is a fact. That is Trinidad and Tobago. That is the state some of these owners go. That is the state. That's how we treat our security officers who are charged with responsibility to protect life and property. So they're ensuring that the dog is healthy to perform their function.
So what about the persons, though?
And that is the crux of it. Now, they think that a security officer, by and large, is indispensable. You could bring that, because what I've been doing is you leave or something happens to you, I just go and pick up somebody on the corner, put them in a uniform, and put them there because what they want is a body to fulfill a contract. And the client, he just wants somebody there to fulfill the insurance purposes.
Insurance purposes.
Right? So while we have been agitating for years, previous as executives have been agitating for years to regulate the industry. There's a bill which we will get to in a little bit, which seeks to do that on the face of it.
Right.
But really and truly is a very dangerous piece of legislation. But when we go back to what they're doing, these companies, now remember when you pay somebody just minimum wage, it says that I am paying you this only because the law says so.
Right.
Right? and they are constructively keeping the rates in tune with that. So when you go to negotiate and you're negotiating a 5 or 10%, 5 or 10% on a $15 or $16 wage is what? Right? The cost of living goes up, taxes, everything goes up, right? And they're still in the same position that they are. A lot of them do not have the pensions. You should not be placing a person, a citizen of this country, in a position where they have to make a choice whether they can invest in a pension plan or a medical plan. Because they see that, okay, I have to pay this X, Y, X for the fortnight or the month towards a pension plan. But I have immediate needs. So I forego the pension plan because I have immediate needs. What happens now when that person leaves the employee and cannot work again at 60 or 65?
Right.
What happens? There's no pension to buffer the impact of the rising cost of living. And that is what we are seeing. I know the labor has been saying that for years. A living wage is what is necessary. We've seen a number of things happen here too. And we've seen that they are trying to attack the in-house security. Now, remember, in-house security is those are persons who are employed with, right? Employees of, in fact,
Okay.
companies, statutory boards, state companies, and that sort of thing. So you saw they got rid of the state police at Petrotrin, right? Although they were warned of the impact, you see now they're warned of the impact of removing the security from the Petrotrin environment. You see now they have over $20 million in losses, right? And they've been bringing private security and paying them a lot less than the state police officers that are employed by Tiantec, Wasa,
Right.
Port, Airport, right? And paying them a lot less than what they pay them. So they really want that. They're trying to bring down the rates and not give comparative terms and conditions. And it's a big battle. We have now started. We're seeking a lot of legal advice. We're seeking some support, right, from other bodies in labor, from the community at large, right, to bring it out. So to create some sort of focus on what is happening really and truly right and wrong.
Have you reached out to them before though?
Yes, we have. We have only now started to do it.
Anything positive?
Yes, we are getting some positive results. Matter of fact, on the Labor Day March, Mr. Roger did mention that he stands with the SC Police Association.
Very nice.
For a fight against this bill that is coming up, right? So we have been getting some traction. As a matter of fact, some owners are calling us now.
Okay, so things is looking good.
Yeah, some owners are saying, listen, we hear you. We're willing to work with you now, right? So, which is a very, very good, development. Actually, we had a shocking development where one owner called and said, listen, we want you to come and talk to our guys. We want you to get your guys, I want my people to be a part of the SC Police Association.
Yes.
Like what? You know?
That's really nice.
So, Mr. Dugbans, so we give you a shout out for that.
That's
right?
really nice.
That is very progressive.
That is really
That
nice.
is very
I
great.
wanted to ask though, why is it that people always look down on these security officers though? Why is that?
Well, they look down on police officers because they always say, well, you end up a police officer because you ain't bright, you go to school, you this and the other. They look down on army. There is historically, there has always been sort of looking down on anybody who are in the protected services.
Okay.
And because security officers are seen as the lower end of a low rung, so you have the police officers who you already think they're stupid, they can't write a ticket, they're all kind of thing. And then you have the security officers and the SC police under them.
Yes.
You understand? So there's no way to go under there. And that's what is happening now. Poor trading, you see, those companies, they don't offer proper training. A lot of them do not offer proper training. 2 weeks, and then they put somebody back out on the road, right? And they say, go and do a security. Go in and go street. go and secure this and go and secure that. You see some of them, you look at them as a professional, we look at them, we know that they are not trained, but they are looking for a bread.
Yeah.
So the industry has come now to be like a hustle.
But
People
you do
looking
proper
for
training with your men, I'm sure.
Well, different companies now, but we are an association, so we are now trying to ensure that, listen, that whatever training is done is
So you will
done to a
advise them on
particular
where to
standard.
go and all of
Yes.
that. Okay.
Right? But it's a tough task, but one that we are committed to fulfilling our mandate, which is to properly represent them. And as we was saying earlier on, those security officers who are unrepresented and who are abused, I want them to know that we are making attempts because we will advocate on their behalf.
Yeah.
Right? Because the only difference between them is sometimes it's just the precept. They wear the same uniforms. So when a bandit comes, he's not looking to see who is either responsible
Precepted
or
or
who
who's
is
not.
precepted or who is precepted
Yeah.
or not. He taking you out. And if you recognize, we had a article appear in the Express where we pointed out that in the last couple of months, it's 25 of our security officers, state and security officers, who have either been the victim of assault or been killed in the line of duty in the last couple of months. In the last year or so, that has been happening and nobody is speaking about that. So when they hear somebody dead, security officer, it's like, okay, flip the page. But if it's a police officer, it runs for a couple of days. And that is what we battling against, that perception now that a security officer is, as Bidish put it, was less than the dog.
Yes. Yes.
Because what he said is factual.
Yeah.
That is factual.
It's happening. It's happening in the industry. And recently we saw that the government made some amendments to the pension. And we are happy for them. And we are happy. We are happy for that group. But there's also a group that is more vulnerable than those people who would be getting that increase in pension. Their salary, probably one salary for the month, could probably take them for a long way, probably for months. But what about the other groups who don't have a pension? CDA, in the CDA Act, it talks about a pension plan. It's only a few years ago that was established, and the CDA Act came into being somewhere in the 70s. And the Act speaks to that pension plan. And I can't see why only 3 or 4 years now it started. But what about these people who will be retiring soon?
Yes.
They cannot benefit from that since it just started. So we're asking the government, since we are dealing with pensions, look into the pensions of all the state companies, CDA officers and the civilian staff as well. It have some companies where the pension is in deficit. The government could help finance that deficit. So when we're looking to make improvement in an area, it must not be just for one group. It must be for the nation as a whole. And more so, the most vulnerable must be taken into consideration.
Derek, do you think PSA needs to intervene with those officers, though?
Well, as much as the labor movement is willing to stand with the SC Police Association, we welcome that.
Yeah.
Because we understand quite clearly where we are in the pecking order.
Yes.
Right? We have been way too silent for our own good for a number of years.
Yes.
So GTOM is also on board with us.
Right.
So we know the PSAs with NATUC, right? But labor needs to come together,
Yes.
right? I know there have been some discussions about that. So we welcome that.
Yes.
We definitely welcome that because probably that's the cue for us to go to the bill. Now, as we said before, the environment needs to be regulated. So since 2001, there have been bills coming to the Parliament as regards to the regularizing or the regulation of the security industry. So there have always been this private securities industries bill. That bill, by and large, has come to the point now where the last time we were consulted on it was in 2018.
Right.
Only recently we, just by happenstance, recognized that a 2019 bill was actually laid in the Parliament. when we did our comparisons for the 2018 and the 2019 bill, we recognized there were about 73 different things that amendments would have been made,
Yeah.
with no consultation by us, with us. One of the critical things in this bill is that it will take estate constables away from us, put them under this new authority as they have it. They have an authority. So that authority now will conduct all the regulations for the private security officers.
Right.
But there is no provision in that act, in that bill, for any representation. So they will have no representation. They are saying that you could go to any union of a choice, but that presently exists. But how does that really work? Right? But that is for if there's an industrial relationship, if you need to take something to the attention. But what about collective bargaining? What happens with that? So you're going to take people out from the EPA in environments where there is a agreement in place, and take them into an authority where there's nothing. So you're going to terminate me, because you have to terminate me from whatever I was at the point. And then take me now and tell me I have to go and apply for a license under this new authority. And that new authority, I do not have any terms and conditions. I do not have a representative body. Right? Now, taken in light of what these same companies who operate now in the private security are going to be in that same authority, and they have not been treating you well. You think they're going to treat you well where there's no representation? Even if there's a tribunal which is set up under the new thing there, that is of no consequence. Who is going to negotiate terms and conditions?
That's true. Ganesh, do you think the trade union movement is becoming irrelevant in society?
No, it's not. There's a group or some citizens of this country who wants the general public to believe that. But I want to say this today. If there was no trade union movement, this country would have been flat. Everybody like to say the trade union movement only fight for increasing wages and all of that.
Yes.
But if they did not fight for the increase in wages and the level of corruption in this country, there would have been more. The wages are going to the citizens, would have been going to corruption. Look at all the failed state entities. You think if there was no union there, it would have been better? No. So when the trade union and the trade union movement see the level of corruption, they will ensure that they will try to fight for some of this money to go to their members instead of all going in corruption. There's too much corruption in Trinidad and Tobago, and that's a fact. And the people who are arguing and saying, and it's a small number, that the trade union movement is irrelevant. People, if there's no trade union movement in this country, this country will be, I don't even have words for me to describe, but will be something not good. Our standard of living and everything else would be worse off. So we must never believe for one moment. You see that dollar that the trade union movement fight for their employee? If you don't do it, it's going in corruption. It will go. So less money they have to pay, as we see it, is more money to go corrupt. And because of the structure we have in this country, when it comes to politics and how we see politics.
I wanted to ask you a question on that, though.
Yeah.
Under this PNM government, what are your views?
Well, I think a lot of things that is happening is anti-labor, and the trade union movement as a whole is not the enemy. We will work, and I know I can speak for the leaders, where they will work with anybody. But we cannot be working with you and the local parents say, and they're taking out money. You understand? We'll work with anybody. We'll work in the interest of the employees and also the state, or the employer and the state. But we cannot be in a situation where we are seeing that better could be done in terms of wages, and only one sector is benefiting from it. All right? We look at, okay, let me look as simple as this. Every employee more or less have to travel in some way. If they have their own vehicle, or if they have to travel with taxi, gas went up at least 3 times.
Yes.
Gas went up, yet salary still there. People still working 2013 salary. And while we understand the money that probably passed through this country in the past, we don't have that much. But we don't believe that it's so bad where the citizens of this country cannot benefit from the resources.
That's true.
Well, address this front of it. We've seen that there is a clear agenda to attack the unions. The Petrotrin issue is one such issue. I want people to just cast their mind back a little bit to a couple of years ago when the OWTO, under the same Sanctuary regime, was saying to the country and saying to Petrotrin management, you need to restructure this company and let us restructure it together. They gave certain structures to the company. They didn't take heed, right? And then when the resultant effect came now, when the thing became so critical, there was an accommodation, there was an agreement, there was something signed by parties which said we will work together because the financials says that to save this company, we must do this and we must get this document signed. That was in April. I signed that document, right? The OWTU signed that document, and the NPSA, which is the another body that was in the Petrotrin, signed that document. Yet, not one meeting was held because in terms of that conduct was that we will meet every month in committee stages to save it. And then you had in August the announcement, all, right? We met with the director, the chairman, Mr. Espinay, on the 28th of November and said to him, listen, what you are going to get by removing the SA police from Petrotrin, from within there, is chaos. You cannot just bring anybody in. Now there's $20 million that's been lost. And there's here Mr. Rowley said that the SA police there were given the opportunity to first opportunity. That never happened. That never happened. So they have hired private security firm, amalgamated, and their officers now are hamstrung. They do not know the area. People think of Petrotrin as the refinery. Think of Petrotrin as Port of Spain here. If you don't know where to go, you're lost. If you don't know where the hotspots are, you're going to be in problems. Yeah. And that is what is happening now. And they've gotten rid of the OWTU, they've gotten rid of the EPA, they've gotten rid of the NPSA. Right? When there was no real cause to do so. You could have restructured that company because there was over 1,500 people who were over the age of 50 and could have gone on a visa. And bring down the cost of labor. You could have entered, we were prepared to go into the agreements and look at what we can do to assist this entirely, but we were never given the opportunity.
Yeah.
So when I hear the talk, people speaking of things they don't know, I'm thinking, why was there a need to shut down a hospital? Why didn't you sit down with the OWTU and interested parties and say, okay, there's a substantial amount of persons who would have accessed the hospital from the Petrotrin, who were retirees and all of that. Let us work out now how this thing is going to keep running. But you shut it down completely. Yeah. And now what is happening? Everybody has to run to the hospital, and the hospitals are overcrowded, and there's the resultant effect. Yeah. But people don't listen to labor. The public, see, they have so villainized labor that the people who are trying to help the same people, those same citizens see them now as obstructions. The media and the politicians have been successful in villainizing labor who are trying to do what is right for the poor and the downtrodden in this country.
I know we're pressing on time, but I just wanted to touch a little bit on the cookout that you all are having.
Yes, yes. We have formed this present executive, right? We went to our central committee and said, listen, we need to have, as we said earlier on, 60% of the employees in the industry are women. We need to have somebody on the executive who, with a focus on dealing with women's issues.
That's nice.
And as a result of that, they did acquiesce, and we have now a person who was formerly an executive member, named Ms. Kizzy Lois. She is now the Women's Relations Officer.
Okay.
Right?
And this cookout is for what?
This cookout is specifically to raise funds to assist some of those officers who have little issues with sending their children to school.
Okay.
So we are having this on the 29th. It's called Doc is what? We're taking cookout to make. You can lock up to cook the cookout. So we have some companies.
Could you repeat that, please, Derek?
It's a duck cookout.
Videsh, let me hear.
So we taking lock up to cook up.
Right.
Okay.
That is what it is.
It's at Prison's Grounds on the 29th, which is Saturday.
Prison's Grounds from 11.
All are invited to come and have a day of fun with the Estate Police Association and its members.
It would be nice for you to send us some photos as well. You know.
Yes, we will do that. It's for a really worthy cause. And I want to say again, a shout out. I don't want to think here, but when people do well, there is a company that Kizzy would have just spoken with to find out how much for copybooks and stationaries.
Yes.
And when they heard of the cause, they said, no, we will sponsor.
That's nice.
We will sponsor. So we're getting some people coming in and saying, okay, you know, so we want it to be a nice grand event and for a worthy cause.
Yes.
And we are asking all officers to come out and support your teams. You have 10 teams, right? And next year we hope for it to be a little bigger, so we could do more.
And just remember that PSA has developed this platform for everyone.
Yes, so we will of course
everything.
We
so you're always welcome here on this program.
We are so thankful for this opportunity, and we want to thank Mr. Duke, right, for creating the opportunity. In fact, by this, I think it's the first.
Yes.
Yeah, it is
First trade union house.
Yeah, I
with
mean,
a media platform.
So we will partake. I hope you don't get to think with us.
No, not at all, not at all. Your closing comments, Videsh.
Yes, let me say again, thanks to the Public Service Association and your good self for the opportunity to be here. And Trinidad and Tobago, labor is not the enemy.
Yes, again, thank you again for once again, and thanks to Trinidad and Tobago and those members outside there that the EPA Association is here for you. We will be vociferous, we will be very sturdy, we will be very reactive and proactive, right, to your needs. And to know that this bill that is coming, is not in the best interest, and that we will be outside there. If we are in the streets, we are in the streets.
That's right.
Right? We have to hit the streets. We can't be timid while people slow poison us. So we will be there and listen for us once again.
Yes. So I want to thank Mr. Derek Richardson, the president of the Estate Police Association, Mr. Videsh Bagwandeen. He's the second vice president. Thanks for joining us this morning here on PSA TV. So we're going to toss the news and come right back.